Oh, I smell that honeysuckle.
Mm-hmm. A night like this always reminds me of a girl I once met. A little place called Willow Springs. Her name was Jeannie Price. She had hair the color of that moon there.
Little Springs, that's down around Napa, isn't it? A little farming town.
Quiet and peaceful. Trees all around. That's how I met her, you know. Falling out of a tree.
Falling out of a tree?
Next to a church. She had climbed up to watch the dance that was going on inside, and she lost her balance. Landed right at my feet. I asked her if she'd like to dance with me, but thought her dress wasn't good enough. I did get to walk her home, though. And there was another big tree sitting right out front of her place. It had one of those chair swings hanging down from it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We sat there for hours and just held hands and talked. It's funny. I knew Jeannie for, just a couple of weeks, but it seemed like we'd known each other forever. Guess it always seems that way when you're only 18.
Did you ever go back and see her again?
No, I thought about it, but I just never had the time.
What was that?
Wolf? Nothing like I ever heard.
Must smell like wolf.
I better tie down that stallion before he breaks loose and takes the bunch with him.
I'll tighten down the stakes.
Easy. Easy. That's it.
Easy. You heard bad?
I don't know.
A wolf doesn't usually attack when there's a fire. Unless...
We'll take a look at him.
Take a look. The one it didn't sound like a wolf.
Rabbit?
Rabbit. I gotta get that cauterized quick.
Go ahead. Get to it.
How does it look, Doc?
They're deep, but I don't think I need to take any stitches. How quick did you cauterize it?
Right away.
Well, that's the main thing. In fact, a salve and this bandage is a About all that I can do.
Doc, we rode all night to get here. There's got to be more.
There is no medicine that'll stop rabies. Not yet, anyway.
Not yet? What do you mean, not yet?
Oh, there's some talk in Europe of a serum. But so far, that's all it is, just talk. Now, the main symptoms are headaches and fits of rage. These will help with the headache.
But then you're saying there isn't anything we can do.
Just wait and hope.
Hope? Hope for what?
Rabies has a 60-day incubation period. If you're still alive after that, chances are you'll stay that way.
You know anyone that stayed alive, Doc?
No. But there have been cases on record.
60 days.
Want a drink?
No.
Listen, Nick, he doesn't know everything. We'll get home, we'll see Dr. Moreau.
Oh, come on, Heath. Let's not kid each other. The medical profession is run clean out of miracles. Besides, I don't want anybody at home to know about this.
Not even the family?
Nobody.
Nick, you're going to need all the help they can give.
Help? For 60 days, I'll have my ups and downs. The next 60 days, I'm going to die. I don't want the rest of the family dying with me. I want your word on that, Heath. Your word.
You've got it.
Is anything wrong with your soup, Nick?
What? Oh, no, nothing. It's fine, Mother.
Would you prefer something else?
No.
You know, I think he just got too used to that bullfrog stew of Heath's. Isn't that it, Nick?
Scorched to perfection over an open campfire.
Believe me, after 2 weeks of that, civilized cooking takes some getting used to.
Did I hear my cooking mentioned?
Not mentioned, my boy. Cursed.
Plain jealousy. Sorry I'm late. That new stallion kicked part of the corral fence down.
Did you get it fixed?
Partly.
Partly? What do you mean, partly?
Well, it had to be reinforced. The boys are working on it.
Oh.
That's quite a horse, Nick.
It's going to be rough to break.
Yes, you know, considering that he's not broken, don't you think you paid a trifle too much for him?
Trifle too much. That horse has some of the best breeding in this state.
Well, I'm sure he'd sire a fine line, provided he doesn't have to be gelded.
Gelded?
Well, if you can't break him, that's a possibility, isn't it?
Are you trying to tell me I'm not a good judge of horse flesh?
Of course not, Nick. I'm merely trying
Nick, Jared, if you don't like that stallion, you take him back. And the mare's with him.
Nick. What's the matter with him?
He's been acting like a stranger ever since he came back from that trip.
Well, I suppose it could have been my fault.
Jumped the fence.
Jumped the fence. Why didn't somebody stop him? Are you blind? That stallion's too valuable to be lost.
Oh, Nick, it was only an accident.
When I want your back talk, I'll ask for it.
Heath.
You know, Heath, once when Nick was 16 years old, he got trapped in a mine shaft. I was up in San Francisco studying law. I woke up in the middle of the night, and I started writing, and I didn't stop writing until I got home. Nobody had to tell me my brother was in trouble. I just knew it, the way I know now. You know, Heath, silence doesn't spare the people you love. Sometimes it hurts them worse.
There's nothing I can tell you, Jared. Nothing.
Come in. Oh, Mother, I was waiting for you.
We just got back from town. Silas tells us you're going to Vallejo.
Yeah.
Well, I thought the yearling sale wasn't until next week.
Well, I thought I'd go up a little early, look the stock over a little ahead of time, is all.
Oh.
I'll get my gear.
I know. No sense of both of us going. I'm just going to be picking up a couple of head.
Well, I'll have Silas pack some food in your saddlebags.
Why, Nick? Because of what happened this afternoon?
I could have killed you this afternoon, Heath. You know that? I thought of it. For a split second there, I could have split your skull with the nearest rock. Next time, I just might do it.
Well, maybe there won't be a next time.
Oh, come on, Heath. We agreed not to kid each other, remember? Besides, that's only a part of it.
Well, what's the other part?
The last few weeks of my life should count for something. I mean, besides cattle and horses and making money, it should count for something special. I don't know what it is. I know I gotta go look for it. Maybe it's something I passed somewhere along the way without noticing.
And if you don't find it?
Well, at least I've looked.
So you gotta go look. But where?
Anywhere. Willow Springs, maybe.
Willow Springs?
Yeah. Kind of like to see whether Jeannie's hair is still as yellow as ever. And you stick with that stallion here.
Silas, put the bags on your horse. Have a good trip, Nick.
Thanks, Mother.
Mother, where's Nick going?
I don't know.
When's he coming back?
I don't know that either.
mother home? Well, I'd like to speak with her.
Mister, that's my swing.
Well, do you, mind if I use it for a minute? Afternoon, ma'am.
Afternoon?
I'm, looking for a friend of mine. Girl named Jeannie Price. Does she still live here? Could you tell me where she does live?
Have you tried the saloon?
I don't think you quite understand, ma'am. Her family runs the dry goods store.
There isn't any. Prospectors lean more toward wet goods.
Prospectors? What about the farmers? This used to be a farming town.
Oh, that was a long time ago. Before they started mining.
Well, ma'am, I've come a long way, and... Well, I wonder if you know anybody that might tell me where I could find her.
Well, the ones I know don't live any place more than a few months. You might try the graveyard.
Graveyard?
Oh, about 7 years ago, right after the miners started coming, they had a typhoid epidemic. They say it almost wiped out the whole town.
I see. Thank you.
Hey, mister. I sure hope you don't find her.
Whiskey. A bottle.
That'll be $3.
Take what you need.
Who's there? Get out of here! Hey, mister. Oh, mister. Do you think you can stand up? Come on. Come on, Trot. Come on.
You awake, mister? Mom told me to stay here and watch it till she got back from the store.
You're the one I saw at the door, aren't you? Ooh.
She said you wasn't to try to move.
She's right.
I'm watching you, mister. Mom. He's awake.
Oh, fine, Tommy. Now you go out and get some firewood. Go on. Morning.
Huh?
How do you feel?
I've had a lot of hangovers in my day. Whew.
You had more than a hangover. 2 men tried to rob you in the front yard last night.
Oh?
Hey, take it easy.
Did you,
It was Poe's. I was mending it. He's my boss. I work in the Chinese laundry. Look, there was no choice. The doctor's out of town.
funny, the last thing I remember was buying a bottle.
Are you hungry?
Oh, no.
Well, you've got a bad gash on your head. Last night I wasn't sure you'd make it.
I'm much obliged for you taking me in, Mrs.
It's Miss Jenkins. Julia Jenkins. Tommy's my son.
My name is Nick Barkley.
I know. You did a lot of talking last night. You were delirious.
I've been a lot of trouble to you, ma'am. I'd like to pay you for it.
I'm used to trouble. But there is something you can do for me. I mean, if you really want to pay.
I do.
I've lived hard. Guess you can tell that. I made a lot of mistakes in my life. Tommy's father was one of them. I met him in a saloon in Tucson. He was a pretty talker. You know what I mean? A real pretty talker. But he had two things he didn't mention. Price on his head and a wife. He was hung when Tommy was a year old. Since then, I've been drifting. Taking whatever job I can get as long as it isn't in a saloon. Pretty soon I'll have enough money to take Tommy back to Massachusetts. To my folks' farm. He can grow up decent there. Make a good life for himself. But I want him to start even, like other kids. With a clean and proper name. I don't want him to get old enough to hear the whispers. That's why I'm asking you to marry me.
Marry you.
Oh, look. I know you don't wanna. I mean, I know what I am. I'm an ex-saloon girl. That doesn't change what I want from my boy.
Why me?
Because even a saloon girl can't shame a dying man.
I must have done a lot of talking last night.
Now, look. It'll be a strict bargain. Your name for my care. I'll stay with you right to the end. I'll give you a decent burial, anything else you want.
Decent burial. thanks.
You said you wanted to pay.
Price is too high. Oh. I still can't pay.
Yeah, I had to try. Guess I didn't expect you to. I'll get you some coffee.
Supper's ready.
Be right there.
When are you gonna let me try him?
Well, now, you know Nick doesn't want you riding half-broken stock.
Nick. A lot he cares. He didn't even say goodbye.
You shouldn't be up.
If I stay in that bed one more day, I'm going to sprout roots. No help. Work on getting my sea legs back myself. Which reminds me, where are my boots?
I'll get them.
I want to thank you for sewing my shirt. Looks almost like new.
It's a special stitch that Poe taught me.
Uh-huh. Well, now, will you look at this? All shined up. Boy, you sure are good to me.
They were kind of dusty, so I shined them.
Huh?
Shined your spurs, too.
Oh, look at those.
Want me to put your boots on for you?
No, not right now, Tommy. But I do want you to have these. Gotta have spurs to ride a cutting horse, you know.
A cutting horse?
Mine. I want you to exercise them for me. Will you do that? What's the matter?
Well, I ain't never rode a cutting horse.
Well, now, don't you think it's about time you learn?
Well, yeah, but... Well, who's gonna teach me?
I will, just as soon as I can get those boots on by myself.
Honest, Mr. Barkley?
Honest.
You promise?
I promise.
Can I show him to Mr. Poe?
Oh, sure.
Mr. Barkley, you can use my swing.
He's never had a man around before. Means a lot to him.
Yeah,
Nick?
Nick, what is it? Nick! What's the matter? Let me help you! Nick!
Some water.
This bad?
Getting worse.
What is it, Audra?
Chicken Creole. Nick's favorite. Well, wouldn't you think it'd at least write or something? I mean, he's been gone for weeks.
Oh, he'll be back soon. The yearling sale ended yesterday, didn't it, Jared?
Yes. Yes, it did.
When he comes home, I'm not even going to talk to him.
Excuse me.
Well, anyway, if he thinks he can just
Audra,
leave...
eat your dinner. Excuse me, too, please.
Well, honestly, what's the matter with everybody around here?
I wish you wouldn't leave, Nick.
Been nearly 2 months, Julia. The end could come almost any time. That last attack made me realize it.
The offer of care still goes. No charge.
As soon as Tommy forgets me, the better.
Oh, he's full of plans. He thinks you're going to stay.
He'll forget as soon as you get him to Massachusetts.
Where you going?
Come here, son. I'm leaving, Tommy.
But I thought you liked it here.
I do.
Are you coming back?
I can't.
Well, wasn't you even going to say goodbye?
I was going to let your mother say it for me.
Oh. Well, guess I won't be needing these no more.
No. Wait a minute. I gave them to you. I want you to keep them.
There ain't much use for spurs in Massachusetts. Here.
Bye, Tommy.
Bye, Nick.
Bye, Nick.
Said you'd teach me how to ride a cutting horse. Promise, Nick. You promised. You promised!
Just as long as it counts, Tommy. For just as long as it counts.
Heath, I'm going to ask you a question, and I want a straight answer. You know something about Nick you're not telling us. What is it? Heath, you can see what this is doing to us. You can see that it's tearing Mother and Audra to pieces. All right, then. Can you tell me this? Do you know where Nick is?
I think so.
Then you give him a message for me. You tell him that whatever trouble he's in, his family has the right to share it with him. That it's our duty to help him if we can, and it's his duty to let us, and that he doesn't have the privilege to change that. Do you understand? You tell him to come on home. Tell him Pappy says so.
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Nick Barkley.
Ah, Miss Julia has told me about you. I am Paul Sien.
Yeah, she mentioned you, too. Told me about the Scholar's Gap and how you used to be a Taoist priest.
That was a long time ago. Now I am a laundryman.
A laundryman that reads Tennyson.
Life changes.
For all of us, I'm afraid.
Miss Julia tells me you have changed it most pleasantly for her and Tommy.
They've done the same for me.
Then all three have found rare gift.
Tennyson?
Lao Tzu.
Po, I left the last tub to soak. In the morning, I'll... Oh, Nick.
I came to take you home.
Well, you needn't bother.
Well, it's kind of late for you to go wandering about the streets by yourself, isn't it?
Thanks.
Good night, Mr. Shen.
Good night, Mr. Barkley. A very nice meeting you.
Same here. See you tomorrow night.
Good night, Po.
Good night, Miss Julia.
All right, hold it right there, both of you. What do you want?
That wad of bills that's in your pocket. Now you just drop them back over your shoulder real easy like. Nobody will get hurt.
Julia? Julia? Julia?
My turn to have a hangover.
How is she?
I can't save her.
You sure?
I wish I weren't.
How long?
An hour? Maybe less.
I'm right here, Julia. Right here.
I have a bad one, haven't I? A real killer. Right.
Right.
Funny, I didn't feel a thing. Tommy. Nick, you take him back to my folks. Will you?
I promise.
Only one regret. A name. I didn't get him a name.
Yes, you did, Julia. Yes, you did. Is there a preacher in this town? A circuit judge?
He won't be back until next week.
Is there anyone that can marry us? You sure? This is very important to her.
I'm sorry.
Paul. As a Taoist priest, you do have the authority, don't you?
In parts of China, yes, but not here.
Could you perform a marriage ceremony? I mean, one similar to ours.
Yes, but it would not be legal.
That doesn't matter. What does matter is that Julia believes. Poe. She deserves to die feeling her son has a legitimate name.
Very well. Excuse me.
Julia. Poe's going to marry us.
In my country, long ago, a wise man spent his life in search of truth. His name was Lao Tzu. He has said that if a man and woman pledge themselves with honor and sincerity, their spirits are one. For truth lies not in words, but in the heart. If you, Nick, and you, Julia, pledge with true hearts, I pronounce you man and wife.
Thanks, Nick.
Thank you, Mrs. Barkley.
No! What are you doing here? How'd you get here so quick?
What do you mean so quick?
Well, I just had a wire an hour ago. Oh, Tommy, this is my brother Heath.
Hi, Tommy.
Hi.
What'd you wire about?
That's about Tommy. I promised his mother I'd get him back to Massachusetts. And, well, I'd kind of like you to do it for me.
Oh, no, you take him. I don't like long trips.
Well, now you know I can't.
What do you mean you can't? Haven't you been counting? Boy, howdy, it's been 65 days, Nick.
You sure?
I've sweated every one of them.
What do you mean? What's he talking about?
I'll tell you what he's talking about, Tommy. He's talking about a long trip to Massachusetts. And I'm going to take you to that farm personally. Whoa! What? Oh! Oh! Sorry!
Have you forgotten the party of the second part? In there?
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Barkley's in conference. I'll tell him you're here.
You just give him this. Drop that on his desk and you won't have to say a thing.
Go on, I'll take full responsibility.
Well, so you finally got here. You didn't have any trouble finding the place?
No, I didn't have any
Sure
trouble.
it didn't inconvenience
No,
you?
not a bit.
Just passing through, no doubt.
I'm here at your invitation, Jared.
Brett, you wild and wandering maverick. What do you got to say for yourself? Why didn't you let me know you were coming?
What, miss a welcome like this?
You haven't changed a bit. Well, now that you're here, what are your plans? Just passing through, or do you plan to stay?
Well, if I stay, can I make a place for myself?
In this valley? Believe me, it's crying for men like you. It's your oyster.
Unum ad finem.
I've got some work to take care of. It won't take a minute. I'll meet you over at the hotel. We'll ride out to the house. You'll stay with us, of course.
I don't...
Objections overruled. Good to have you here, Brett.
Thank you, Counselor.
Monroe was right. It's Schuyler. Get word to him.
After that I painted the zebra stripes on Professor Hamilton's old mare.
Wait a minute. I painted the stripes on the mare. You put the liniment in his bathwater.
Oh, that's right.
How did you two ever graduate?
Well, I just broke into an office and stole 2 diplomas.
Oh, no. Now, it wasn't all fun and games. Of course, it might have been for Brett here. He was kind of the brilliant type, just breezed through.
I've often wondered why you never went into law.
Well, I couldn't see myself clerking for a firm that might make me a junior partner in 20 years. So I traded the little my father left me for experience. Equal parts vision, luck, a sense of timing. You attract fortune like a magnet. Cautions for the plotters. I leaped over their heads. Cattle, shipping, land.
And now, Brett?
Now, a breather. And then I think law.
Ah, right here in this valley.
If you can stand the competition, Jared.
Competition? I'll send you the business. I'll even set you up an office space. Fair enough?
That's more than generous.
Brett, I think you'll find this whole valley is more than generous. Just give it a little bit of yourself, and it'll never fail you.
You'll see for yourself, Brett, in time.
I hope so. Well, if you'll excuse me, I'd like to go and unpack before dinner.
Well, I'd say he hasn't changed a bit.
The rising star has become a comet. Do comets ever stay put?
Well, I don't know. He just might this time. Come in.
I wasn't sure Silas had put any towels in your room.
I'm a very wasteful user of towels. Comes from living in so many hotel rooms. Thank you very much. You're very thoughtful.
I recognized you the moment you arrived. There's a photograph of you and Jared in Mother's bedroom.
Oh, yes, don't tell me. In cap and gown, grinning like a couple of chimps.
Mm-hmm.
I must have changed a lot since then.
Well, I don't think you'd paint zebra stripes on anyone's mare again, or climb an enormous mountain so that you and Jared could have it named after yourself. Well, I hope you like staying here as much as we love having you.
Jared Bartley?
That's right.
My name is Monroe. Oh, you don't know me. I'd like to talk to you for a few minutes. Someplace where we, won't be disturbed.
What about?
Secret Service.
Well, come in, Mr. Monroe. This way, please.
It's a beautiful home, Mr. Bartley.
Thank you.
Mr. Barkley, you got a good friend visiting with you named Brett Schuyler. Don't confirm or deny. Just let me do the talking. He was moving around quite a piece before he came here. I know, because I've been traveling that same route. And not that he knows that. I wouldn't be much good at my job if he did. Interesting thing about Mr. Schuyler's travels, every place he's been, New Orleans, Cheyenne, Santa Fe, San Antonio, they've had a flock of these.
Well, what about it?
Well, it looks so good it'd take an expert to tell it wouldn't.
You better start traveling a different route, Mr. Monroe.
Mr. Barkley.
You're trailing the wrong man.
Mr. Barkley, I got my family back east. Little place in Virginia. It's been over a 12th month since I seen him. I don't like it. But when I believe I'm right about a man, I'll stay with him until I catch him.
All right, Mr. Monroe, I've heard your suspicions. Now suppose you give me your evidence.
I don't have any.
Mr. Monroe, Brett Schuyler and I went through law school together. We roomed together, ate together, boned from the same books together. I know him as well as I know myself.
Well, now, it's been quite a while since you've seen him. Now, what is it he's been doing? Did he tell you?
He did. Land, cattle, shipping.
Oh? I never heard that he signed a deed, or looked at a herd, or boarded a ship. But if you are confident he is not my man, then you won't mind helping me.
And just what is it you'd like me to do?
Well, now, Schuyler knows he's safe here as your guest. You, should have easy access to his belongings. There's a good possibility he's got that money concealed in his bag.
I'll show you.
I know. It's a Judas trick. Call it what you like. But I wouldn't ask this of a man's best friend if I didn't think it was necessary. I'm staying at the hotel in Stockton. Yes. Oh, Mr. Barkley. Well, you're just in time for a bite of lunch. Come on in, come on in. Here, pull up a chair. I'll send down for another portion.
No, thanks.
Hyatt. Yeah. Come here. Take a look at these. It's in a border design they usually come a cropper. Of course, some are fancier than others. The genuine engraver, he don't mind how much time he puts in designing that lacy border there. Of course, the counterfeit is inclined to get a bit more impatient. Wants to get his hands on some real money. Especially when most folk can't tell the difference between the counterfeit and the real thing. And the fact that most banks print their own money. You found a flaw?
No. Nothing counterfeit about these. These are all genuine.
Give me a glass. Well, now. He's smarter than I thought.
Oh, maybe you're just a little too eager to find a suspect, Monroe. Now, with all due respect to the Secret Service, I'd appreciate it if you'd take you and your suspicions right out of this valley.
Mr. Barkley, I still feel I'm right about your friend. I'm going to stay with him till I get...
Brett, my boy, I think we're just a little bit early for the ladies. What do you say we step into my office over there and I'll buy you a drink?
Fine.
Kind of like old times, isn't it, Brett?
Mm-hmm.
Remember that jug we used to keep hidden at school?
Yeah. Well, the whiskey has gone over the table since then.
It sure has. Yes, sir, we got a lot of years to catch up on, you and me. So, let's hear from my well-traveled friend.
Thank you.
I want an autobiographical report.
Oh, I wouldn't know where to begin.
Well, how about the Seven Seas, those ships of yours? Where did they sail? East Indies?
Among other places.
Modern Marco Polo, huh? Or maybe I should say Richard Dana, 2 years before the mast. You know, he didn't follow his law career either, or get rich on his ships. But you...
Well, yes, I did pretty well.
You know, I can see you now with a spyglass up to your eye, watching your ships come in, bulging with riches from the Orient. What were their names?
Oh, they were just chartered, Jared. The Lotus, the Condor.
Clipper ships?
Steam.
Oh, sure, they're faster, more profit, huh? Then what, you just traded it all for land and cattle, huh?
One or the other, I don't remember.
Oh, come on, boy, jog your memory.
Land first, I think.
When? What year?
What is this, Jared, a cross-examination?
Well, I guess it kind of sounds like that, doesn't it?
Say, I've some money I want to deposit in town.
I'll introduce you at the bank in the morning.
Fine. It's better than keeping it in the false bottom of my valise.
You know, Brett, you decide to practice law here. You won't be starting from scratch, I promise you that. As a matter of fact, I'd be glad to have you come in with me.
Oh, Jared.
Now, you think about it.
I will.
And there you are, Mr. Schuyler. Receipt for $20,000. Proud to have you as a valued customer of the bank. Roy. Mr. Schuyler's a new customer of ours, Roy. Good friend of Mr. Barkley's.
Yes, sir. Well, many thanks, Luther. Anything you do for Mr. Schuyler will be the same as if you're doing it for me.
Always a pleasure.
See you at home this evening.
Right. Thank you, Jared.
Roy will be finished with the count in a minute.
I'll be transferring more of my money to Stockton and do most of my business through you if you have the facilities.
The valley's grown a lot since the Barclays settled here, and this bank's had to grow to keep up with it. Let me show you around. There's no branch of banking that we can't handle, Mr. Schuyler. Trust funds, loans, letters of credit, international currency exchange, expert valuations on produce, livestock, and a reserve in here for all contingencies. Money couldn't be safer if it was in the San Francisco Mint. People in the valley like to know that. Big or small, they've learned to depend on this bank never to lose a penny of their money.
Say, this is high-carbon steel.
Well, now, there's not many who knows the difference between that and the old ferromanganese variety.
Well, I own a couple of shares in a foundry that make them. I'm not sure it'll stop a safe cracker completely, though.
Well, maybe not all by itself. Anyone tries to break into that vault will get the shock of his life.
An electric alarm system, huh?
How did you know?
I noticed your alarm bell out front.
You're a very observant man.
Thank you. Mr. Kirby, if I had any doubts about your bank's facilities up to now, I certainly don't have them anymore.
You're beginning to sound like one of us already. And as a close friend of Jared's, I want you to come and see me personally anytime you have a banking problem.
Yes, sir, I will. Thank you very much. I'd like to make a small withdrawal on my deposit. Thank you. It's for $200.
How would you like it, sir?
A couple of 50s, the rest in 10s and 20s, please. Here you are. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Schuyler.
My friend, what have you got to report? Success?
Yes. Front door lock's a Heaves Rodney type 34A.
I can handle that easy. What about the vault, Brett?
Ordinary combination lock.
Nothing for me, Brett? Ah, very pretty. But lucky for us. Not very original. Yes. Your banker's a thrifty man. He prints his bills from a stereotype. That's much cheaper than having a new design made up.
He prefers to spend his money on the vault. An electric alarm system.
Oh?
It could be difficult.
Well, between you and Ketchy, there won't be any problem for you.
Between Ketchy and you, you'll have to count me out. I'm sorry. I've done all I intend to do.
This is the most ambitious plan we've ever had. And it's only workable if we carry it off as a team, of which you are an indispensable part.
I didn't expect to feel this way. I can't do this to Jared Barkley, Clyde.
Brett, my friend, we're not doing anything to him. We're doing it to the bank.
We're doing it to him. This thing could wreck his whole life.
How?
The people that keep the money in that bank are his friends. They built this valley together. They trust him the way he trusts me.
Sure, he trusts you. That's why you're here.
I can't do it, Clyde. Jared's the closest friend I've ever had. I can't destroy him.
Oh, you hear that, Ketchy? This fine young gentleman who unloaded an assortment of handsomely engraved mining stock on the cream of Philadelphia society has suddenly got himself all worked up over a friendship.
He offered to take me into the law firm.
To do what? To run his courthouse errands for him? To be a glorified clerk? Oh, that's all the use he'd have for an inexperienced law school student.
Gerard wouldn't treat me that way.
That's how men like him get rich. Now, they didn't get theirs by giving anything away. No, it's the one who snarls and snaps the hardest is the one who gets to the top. And that's how the Barclays got where they are. And that's why that friend of yours offered you a job. So he could squeeze all the talent out of you with no cost to himself. You can start inking that press, Ketchy. Won't take me too long to cut these plates. Now, everything is going to go as scheduled. We'll take the bank tonight. Oh, and you better stay. You might learn something about the art of engraving.
I'll be back.
You're not still worried about your friend, are you, Brett?
Now, we're the only real friends he's got, Ketchy. He knows that.
Oh, Brett. Oh, it's beautiful. Thank you.
I'm glad you like it. I wasn't sure.
Well, if she didn't like it, I would.
By the way, Brett, have you given any more thought to my offer?
Yes, I have, Gerard. I've given it a great deal of thought. I'm not quite sure I understand what it meant.
Well, I guess it means you'd be coming in as my assistant. Would certainly give you the experience you need.
Searching out precedents, writing first drafts of some of your briefs, that sort of thing?
Yes, I'm afraid that's what it would mean.
While you worked on the more important cases?
At first, yes. That's fair enough, isn't it?
Yes, it's more than fair, Gerard. Pardon us for talking business at the table. And excuse me, I have an appointment in town. Don't bother waiting up for me.
Aha, well, in that case, you're excused.
Good night.
Good night, Brett.
Well, you didn't exactly keel over with your offer, now did he, Gerard? Maybe he didn't think it was good enough.
Hurry it up. Hold it. Down behind the counter.
Your coffee's cold. I'll get you some more.
No, thanks.
What is it, Jared?
All right. Well, it's Brett. There was someone here to see me the day after he arrived. A Secret Service agent. He accused Brett of being involved in a counterfeit ring.
Brett? Oh, no, I can't believe that.
I might as well believe it of myself. He didn't have any proof, but he asked me to help him. I did. I didn't find a thing. Not a single word, a deed, a scrap of paper that would make me doubt he was any different than he's always been. And yet I think I doubted him in spite of myself.
I know. When somebody puts something like that into your mind, it's hard to root it out. It just stays there.
That's exactly how it's been. You know, when he first got here, I'd have done anything in the world to help him. And then after that man spoke to me, I got less and less sure of him and myself.
And now? Do you trust him now?
I don't know. I didn't at dinner. I think it showed. I think that's why he left so suddenly.
Well, I'm sure you'll find the answer in the morning. Good night, darling.
Good night, Mother.
Seven left. Nine right. Repeat the last two numbers.
9 right, 3 left.
7 right.
Good morning.
Good morning, Brett.
If you want breakfast, you better grab a chair. Thank you. I've got something to say.
Before you do, Brett, there's something I'd like to say. That offer of mine to take you into the office, it's withdrawn. Instead, I'm offering you a full partnership. Now, not that you're going to be any bargain for the first year, but knowing what you're capable of, I'd be wrong to offer you anything less. I want you in with me, Brett, on equal terms. The sooner the better.
Brett, it's not like Jared has given something away. He spent an awful long time looking for just the right man.
It's wonderful to fulfill something I know you both have always wanted.
Well, now that that's settled, what was it you wanted to say?
I hate to say this now. I'm leaving for Denver on the noon train. I'm sorry. It's just something I have to do. And I have a business meeting at the hotel in town, so I'll have breakfast there. I'm all packed, so I know it's very sudden.
Will you be coming back, Brett?
I don't know.
You needing a buggy.
Well, if you do, my offer still stands.
Goodbye, man.
Goodbye, Brett.
Audrey. Goodbye, Brett.
Here, Hank, grab one of these, will you? Have a good trip.
I'm sorry, Jared.
So am I, Brett. But it's your decision to make.
Found this on the table in Mrs. Schuyler's room. I guess he forgot it.
Thanks, Silas. didn't take you long to say your goodbyes. I'll catch you a ride to Rio Vista. Take a riverboat from there, and I'll get the stage at Nantucket. We'll all meet at Salt Lake day after tomorrow. So we might as well share this off right now.
There's not going to be any sharing, Clyde.
What do you mean?
I'm taking the money back.
Taking it back?
We should never have gotten into this. It was a mistake right from the start.
Oh, this is surely not the time to start
I'm
worrying
taking the
about
money
that
back, and I mean it. Time up. Go on.
Ah, you're a fool, Brad. A gullible fool.
Hurry it up. Now get on the bed. Get your arms through those rungs. Come on.
You're not serious about going back in that bank with that money?
You're mad, Brad. Putting stolen money back in the bank. Such a fool notion. I almost hope you get away with it. I said almost. Morning, Ira.
Jared?
Say, does a Mr. Schuyler have a reservation on the noon train?
Did have, I believe. Yeah, here it is, but he changed it. He's booked on the midnight now.
When did he change it?
About an hour ago, I guess. Checked his bags and rode out someplace.
Thanks, Ira.
Oh, Mr. Barkley.
Well, Monroe, I thought you'd left town.
Nothing I'd like better. Only it don't fit in with my job. I hear your friend deposited quite a bit of money across the street the other day.
That's right.
All he had in his valise, I guess.
I imagine the bank would let you examine it.
Oh, I did. And it's good money. And that's a puzzler. Now, the regular method would be for the counterfeiter to deposit some bad paper and then start making withdrawals of the bank's good money. But I guess Mr. Schuyler's got a smarter scheme up his sleeve. Of course, now there's nothing much I can do about it till that counterfeit starts circulating around town here. But whatever he's up to, I got a feeling that bank's gonna be part of it.
Well, Jerry.
Hello, Luther. Has Brett Schuyler been in today?
Not far as I know.
Well, I thought he might have come in to make a withdrawal.
Let me check. No, sir. He hasn't been here today. His account's just the way it was. No more deposits, no withdrawals. Except for a couple of hundred he withdrew the day that you brought him in. But I'm still expecting to do a lot of business with Mr. Schuyler, thanks to you. Told me he was transferring more of his funds here, making his headquarters here in town.
Yes, well, I wouldn't count on that, Luther. He's leaving town today. He might not be back.
Well, no. That's too bad. He impressed me as a bright young man, very intelligent about banking. He's the first man I've had in here who knew exactly what kind of steel that vault door is made of. Even knew about our electric alarm system. Anything wrong, Jared?
Oh, no, Luther, nothing. Hold it right there, Brett. You forgot this.
Funny. First time I've ever been without it.
Hand over your gun.
Jared, let me explain.
There's nothing to explain. Hand over your gun.
Get up your hands, both of you.
Get their guns, Ketchy, and the money. We got here just in time. This wouldn't be your friend Barkley, would it? And tie them up, Ketchy.
Get your hands behind your back.
What's happening here, Jared? Who's that?
The third member of the gang, Sheriff.
I've heard some tall stories before in my time, but this one beats them all. I've been trying to figure out what made him think we could possibly swallow a lie as tall as that.
It happens to be true. That money Mr. Barkley saw Schuyler take out of the vault was counterfeit. Looks like, in a way, we're both right about the man, huh? Sheriff, we'll talk about disposition in a moment.
Fred, I'd like to have a word with Mr. Schuyler.
Well, go ahead, Jared. We'll wait outside.
You're going to need a lawyer. Would you trust me to do the job?
Why should you?
As your friend.
I was hoping you'd say that.